So you're telling me this game has ruined any chance of us getting Battlefront 3? I'm sorry, little buddy, this isn't gonna go well for you. Battlefield 2042 has been a disappointment before it even came out, and you would think that after the effects of the trio of futuristic games that were the Call of Duty terrible triplets, we wouldn't have any more futuristic shooting games for a bit. But I guess EA didn't hear that, and we get this thing. But to be fair, this is like Black Ops 2 where the future is just slightly more advanced technology. I actually think this game did this well. It's less about the futuristic technology being the game's main identity, and it's more about the conflict in the world, which seems to be ever approaching. As for the settings, I think this game is done really well. The maps and locations fit well in the environment. The actual placements and locations of the objects, debris, weapons, and armored vehicles do a good job of telling a story of war. On these maps, you can play a variety of modes, at least nowadays. Back when the game launched, it released with like 2 modes. The variety being here so bad, especially looking at the past games. Not only was there a lack of modes, there was a lack of weapons, vehicles, customization, more on that later. There was a lack of almost everything. But the thing that hurt the most was the lack of players. Shortly after the launch of the game, it lost all momentum after people realized you can either do this thing or do that exact same thing. The game lost 30% of its player base a month later. And this peak right here, that's from October, 2 years later. The state this game launched in was so bad, EA and DICE need to be ashamed of just how sad this was, and for killing this beautiful game. The fact the game jumped up to 100,000 players because they updated the game and added features that were in previous games is crazy. The game didn't even come with a scoreboard. And once the player base dripped out and dipped out, they did the sensible thing and made matchmaking easier between regions so that the small groups of people playing are able to find matches. No, they added bots. Ah yes, the old add bots to the game to make it lifeless and not fun. This will, and never will, make the game better. Unless the bots are at the same level as other players, it does not work. And in this game, the bots can see through smoke, walk in random paths, and the worst of all, have less health. You can easily tell that someone is an AI by just shooting them. If they die in one hit by a sniper, they are AI. The last part to talk about was the things that were just plain bad. With the success of Overwatch, it made the industry conform to making every single game hero-based. Black Ops 4, Valorant, and 4 years later, Battlefield for some reason. There were a bunch of characters that they all just kind of sucked. They locked all your stuff into one character and made for some ugly ass endings to every match that just never worked and everyone made fun of. Speaking of that too, this game was bug city, man. The game barely loaded well, things were glitchy, and it just didn't work at all, especially on last gen consoles. Now if we fast forward to today, I could barely find a match, but once I got in, the game is still fun, and that's something you need to give a little credit to. This game was always actually fun. You could do things like this. But even so, they changed almost everything in the game. No more heroes, scoreboards, more maps, a creative mode with random things you could do, more weapons, more vehicles, a store. No one wants that. But they added things from a lot of previous games and more weapons from previous games. World War II weapons, World War I, I think. A lot of new weapons from old games. There were more game modes added that were actually kind of fun, but they aren't playable anymore because no one wants to play them. Also gotta mention the interactive parts of the map, which were so fun. The tornado? We should have gotten more disasters. That would have been so cool, but the tornado was such a good addition. It's probably the most fun thing that I've ever played in a video game. Getting sucked by a tornado? Pause. Getting launched into the air by a tornado or having your planes launched or your vehicles launched is so fun. I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever added. The sniping is also really good in this game, but the gunplay is kind of mid. I tried playing it in COD, just like in this clip right here, and it just doesn't feel good. I'm not sure if that's all Battlefields. I've played a lot of Battlefields, but I don't remember it feeling this bad. Anyways, I've been yapping for a bit, and I've been trying to cut these videos down so I can at least cover more games while I'm super busy at the moment. I don't know if they're really that good, but I think that if I can get through more games, I'll have more fun, and if I can bring my opinions and we can talk about it, that's kind of what I want. So please leave your discussions in the comments below. Did you like this game? Did you hate it? Why? I want to know. I'll have a great discussion, and if you leave a comment down below, I will feature in the next video and we can talk about it. I think that'd be kind of fun. 2042 was actually a super fun game in the beginning, and then the bots came and everybody left, and then there was no DLC for a long time, and it made the game really not that fun anymore. I would give it a 6.3 out of 10 for its current state. Now, I want to add a video that I made a really long time ago. I took in about 3 videos that I had as kind of a kid, I guess, when this game came out, and it's just a bunch of clips that were kind of fun, but I think it's fun to look back on, and it's a lot of cool moments that I wish I uploaded. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.